In the jungle we unite and tripping orange and black and white. All day when we fight, live and die in these stripes. Now who gotta move rockin' on? Now who wanna move crossing on? Now who wanna move out on? If you got stripes and you let the city know you rock 'em, yeah we got 'em, yeah we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em, bingo bottle, never stop it. To the beast and know 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes, flossing on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen, we gon' show the world.
What's up, everybody? This is Ted Karras with the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cincy Hat, and you're watching Bengals and Brews.
What's up?
Welcome to Bengals and Brews. It is me, Dale Altman, and my co-host, the Pork Chop. What's up, buddy?
Hey, me. I'm up, Dale. It's time for the show and then work. Okay. It's time to get the day started. It's time to get out the bed. Let's go.
Well, you know, I did have the show set for Saturday and didn't realize it until I popped on here and you said, hey, do you realize, look at the date up there. And it was for tomorrow at 3:30. I had to go change it real quick. But hey, we started on time still.
So it's kind of like a pop-up show. This is why you need to subscribe. You know, that way you know when Dale fucks up and schedules the show for the day after the show really is and then fixes it within the last 3 minutes, right. You get the notification.
This is true.
Yeah, you don't want to miss this shit. Come on now.
For sure.
What am I to you?
Hey, get that mock draft pulled up. Look, we're going to go through the first 10 picks.
Look at it already. Kevin jumping in, Jungle Jerry, that fucking Darth. Boom. They got their notifications on. Here they are.
Smart
Stranger,
guys.
You like to be first. You know, Crip, you fucked up. You're late on the notification. I feel like they have their notifications on them.
Well, we're going to talk free agent edge rushers, but you got to head to work, so we'll probably save that for a little later in the show. I wanted to go through the top 10 with Dante Moore going back to school. We talked about that on Wednesday, and we went through the Senior Bowl roster as well. So we'll go through and do the first 10 picks because that completely changes the Jets pick. That's going to take another player off the board. And I can tell you right now, a need that they have is defensive tackle because they traded Quinnen Williams. So for you Peter lovers, he may not be there.
Yeah.
Are you pulling that up, Job?
What's that? The draft?
Yeah, the simulator.
I got it.
I know I said we were going to do the NFL picks first, but Dustin's not on here, so I figure we'll try to do the mock draft first, go through that, and then we can do our NFL picks. Then we'll talk about free agent edge rushers. But to recap last week, I went 6-0. So I'm going to brag, get cocky, and probably end up losing this playoff. Chop won the regular season by one game. One game. I went 6-0 in the playoffs to start. Chop, you went 4-2. Dustin went 1-5. Not a strong showing for Dustin. Great showing for me. Solid showing at 4-2 for you.
Dustin, it's like, man, the Kool-Aid out there in Utah, man.
Apparently. But yeah, let's pull this up. And we'll take a look at the first 10 picks and run through them real quick. Just give our thoughts on who these teams might take. First up, I think it's a no-brainer if you want to go ahead and start it. The Raiders are on the clock. Fernando Mendoza, quarterback, playing for a national title on Monday. I think they got a good shot to win a national title. He has a year eligibility. He's not taking it. Josh Hoover's already committed. Everyone knows Mendoza's coming out. He's won the Heisman, might win the national title. And he's going to be going to Las Vegas with the first pick in the draft.
Well, here we go. Not Dante Moore.
Here we go. And we don't have Dante Moore, which is why we wanted to run through the first 10 picks to kind of see how it's going to change things a little bit. Because it can change things for everybody by that one more player, coming off the board. Then this team don't have their guy. And then, and who's there at 10. So for this one, the Jets, obviously, they're not going to take Ty Simpson, in my opinion. They're not going to take Trinidad Chambliss if he's even in this draft. So quarterback, I'm ruling it out at pick 2. They could trade down. They could do some different things. But they need a D tackle. They need a corner. They need a wide receiver. They need an edge. Arvell Reese, I think, is in play. Reuben Bain could be in play. But I want to switch it up, and I want to give them Peter Woods because they traded Quinnen Williams. And maybe it's not at 2. Maybe they trade down, but they have a glaring need for a pass rushing D tackle. So wherever they pick, we're going to give them. We're going to give them that. That's who they're getting.
Arizona.
Arizona needs a right tackle. I think running back, edge. They could quarterback, but there's not going to be any there. Linebacker. It kind of screams like where Arvell Reese can play edge or linebacker. Let's, in this scenario, even though I think Reese is maybe more around pick 10, didn't have a great second half of the season, was still phenomenal. First-year starter, great size, great athleticism. Let's give them Arvell Reese to kind of fill linebacker/edge roles, so gives them pass rush, but also can play linebacker, 2 spots they need. Yeah, 4 is Tennessee. They could use a corner, an edge, a wide receiver. I think wide receiver is fully in play here, but they also need an edge. So to me, the top player on the board, and it's the top player on this board, is Ruben Bain. We're going to kind of go like, hey, some of the top players teams don't overthink it for once, and they're taking top guys, I think, and the top guys in the consensus. So let's go Ruben Bain for Tennessee.
Next up, pick number 5 for Jets. John Harbaugh's new landing spot.
The Giants could use a corner, a right tackle, linebacker, wide receiver. So this is one I could see, definitely a wide receiver. We've talked about that. I think they could also go with the Spencer Fano, Francis Mauanoa. A corner could come off the board here, Delane or Jermon McCoy. I think all those are in play. It's kind of a fascinating spot. But let's just go ahead and give them a receiver. Carnell Tate's the top guy on the board, right? This. So we're kind of just picking off toward the top of the board if the need fits for these teams. So let's go Carnell Tate because it fits.
Out of Jordan Tyson and Carnell Tate, who is the more run down faster and catch the ball?
I don't know. I
Who
wouldn't
can
say
play more like the T. Higgins role, because Malik Neighbors is going to play more like the Jamar Chase role. Is just what I'm saying.
Well, Carnell Tate, like his contested catch percentage is like 80-some%. He's about 6'3". I think Tyson's 6'2". They both can make contested catches. They both can go up and get the ball, make plays, get separation. They're both good wide receivers. Just Tyson has a little more injury history. So let's give him Tate, but I think they could go with either one if they go wide receiver. Wouldn't be surprised.
The Frowns.
All right. Cleveland could use offensive tackle, could also use a wide receiver, could use a corner. Quarterback, once again, don't think anything's there. So with their needs and the top of the board, let's just give them Jordan Tyson.
I feel like that's it too. I mean, you got Sanders in there. If they're going to roll with him, you got to give him a target, right? Go out there and support your quarterback. Give him a target. Give him a weapon. Washington. They need a goddamn receiver too. Bad.
You guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
We do. We're over here in the Midwest.
Well, we're running through this, so then we're going to do our picks and then talk about edge. So kind of get through a lot of stuff here in this show. Since we're down to 1 day a week, but we did do our Senior Bowl show and talked about Dante Moore on Wednesday, which is why you should subscribe to the channel. So when we do these pop-up shows at any time, when there's news that breaks, or we just want to do a show sometimes.
We just might.
But Washington, I'm still going David Bailey, the edge rusher. I think they need pass rush help in a bad way. So give them the best pass rusher probably in the draft.
I got to tell you, I hear you, but I still think that who is Jaden Daniels throwing the ball to over there? Who?
Terry McLaurin.
I mean, that dude was hurt.
I know.
They need defensive help.
I mean, you can still get some receivers, and maybe they're looking to get receivers, day 2 and day 3. They just take multiple swings at it, after getting some defensive help early. The Saints. So, I think they could go a lot of directions here: wide receiver, corner, edge, D tackle, a lot of those things. But kind of how the board fell, I think they're a team that's just going to take best player. And the best player on my board is Caleb Downs. So if they don't overthink it, the Saints just take Caleb Downs, safety, off the board. So this starts to show you how this is a scenario where we're saying bam, 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 all that's gone. Now what are we going to get? And you got the Chiefs. Let's go ahead and give him Jeremiah Love. He's my next highest rated player on the board. And with all the other players off the board, I think it fell that way. So now if you're a Bengals fan, this is what you're looking at, and you're going, oh, shit. This Dante Moore thing really screwed us up, did it not? Because we're left with the highest players, 2 right tackles at the top, Spencer Fano, Francis Mauanoa. We're left with Keldrick Falk, who is not a pass rusher. He's a run stopper, big-bodied guy. Sounds like Shamar Stewart. Sounds like Miles Murphy. I don't think you need to build your team with the same type of guys. You need a pass rusher. But he'd be in play with the way this board fell. Mansour Delane, Jermon McCoy at corner. to me, that's probably the two players that make the most sense with how this board fell. And then Sonny Styles at linebacker, I wouldn't be afraid of it, but taking a linebacker at pick 10 is risky. Like Devin Bush has been pretty good this year, but Devin Bush wasn't good when he went 10th overall to the Steelers. He wasn't good with the Steelers. He's been good after. So it's as much as I like Sonny Styles and maybe he'd be the pick, it would scare me to take a linebacker still.
Yeah, I'm not taking a linebacker this high unless they have pass rush juice.
What about? Hey, let me toss this out. What about this?
Because you want like a linebacker, like with Sonny Styles, you're getting a reliable tackler and good in coverage.
No, I ain't missed one.
That sort of thing. But you need disruptive players in the top 10. Like you can get a linebacker like that in the second round. You know what I mean? So like I think people would be clamoring for probably Sonny Styles, but when you actually look at like what you want out of a top 10 pick, you want playmakers. You know, and it's not to say Sonny's not a playmaker, but he wasn't asked to do a lot of pass rush stuff at Ohio State, you know?
Yeah, and if you look at last year, he had 6 sacks, you know, not this past season, the season before. So he was asked to do it, and he was able to do it a little more often. He's capable. Yeah.
He's capable, yeah. It's just not part of his game, really. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of those sacks are probably, like, designed, you know?
Blitzes.
Yeah, schemed up. Whereas, like, somebody like Arvell Reese has shown that he can use his hands and beat all tackles, you know. So
yep, fully agree. So you're not getting near the same pass rushing juice. It's a guy who can blitz and, you know, make some plays when you scheme it up. I completely agree with what you're saying.
We're on the same page.
The board falls terrible. I don't even care if we make the pick. This is just showing everyone the nightmare scenario where all these guys you're saying we got to get one are all off the board at pick 10. And honestly, at that point, I'm saying, who wants pick 10? Like, I don't care if I'm getting a second rounder back in return and dropping 4 spots. Like, I would hate to have to stick and make this pick with what's off the board.
Yeah, I love your idea of trading back because I would love to trade back. And in this example, I would be all over taking Caden McDonald, you know, a little bit lower, though.
Right. If you trade down and you get McDonald at 14, 15, you feel a little better because, hey, it's just a dog to stop the run. You got him and Slayton to stop the run. Okay, here come the Ravens. You're not going to run on us with Derrick Henry. We're going to stop that for sure.
Yeah, man. And we've invested in EN. Like, I love Bailey. I love Bain. But if we're, you know, we're going to talk free agents today, but if we're going to go spend money in free agency on defensive ends, then it's kind of like, well, you know, like, let's get another run stuffer. And I do think Caden, he has a little bit of juice, like, to get, like, you know, obviously you're not going to count on him for pass rush in the interior, but he showed some stuff, you know, so.
And DJ Reader could do that. You know, you would see him get some pressure because he's just stronger than everybody else. So,
yeah, totally.
And eventually you hope that you can pair a better pass rusher with him. But, hey, in this scenario, Peter Woods was off the board. So you're not getting it here. You hope maybe you can still maybe get another D tackle if you take a McDonald. So we'll just say that we traded down, we took McDonald. That's what happened in this scenario. We don't have to put that in the simulator. But it was a situation where all the big names were off the board. Reese, Downs, even Jeremiah Love, Peter Woods, Reuben Bain, David Bailey, everybody that most people want, all gone before pick 10. If that happens, you got to think, what do? I think corner's in play. I think Keldrick Falk will be in play. Not that maybe he should be. And then would they take a Fano or a Mawanoa? You know, even if he's back at right guard, like Dalton Reisner, and he just then becomes a backup. Like, you take Francis Mawanoa, you plug him in at right guard immediately. And then you try to maybe move Amarius Mims after Orlando Brown's last season next year to left tackle and kick Mawanoa out to right tackle. I think Mawanoa would probably be the guy I would take in a scenario like this.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this real quick. I know that the Bengals need the defense the most, but when the board's sitting like this, what do you think the chances that they give Joe another weapon with Kenyon Sadiq?
It's possible. Same thing we kind of talked about on Wednesday was Mekhi Lemon. You know, just get that guy in the slot, and then you got Mekhi Lemon, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins. I don't think this team can afford to do it, but that's what you should do if the board falls this way and you think Mekhi Lemon or Kenyon Sadiq's the best player on your board for a position that you need. Because you don't, like, you get one of these corners, they're probably not starting, or what? You're moving Dax back to the slot, and he looks so good on the outside. I don't
Yeah,
love that.
And look, and this is like where these come like bigger conversations, because like that's where it's maybe you can't get so shoehorned into playing defense. So like my example would be, look at the teams that are in the playoffs still right now. They all have tight ends that can get open against linebackers. Colston Loveland has essentially carried the Bears over the last like month of the season. You know,
Yeah, then without him in that playoff game, he had a monster game.
Yeah. So it's like, to me, what are the guys offensively or defensively that can make the most plays and make the most plays in tight games and in the playoffs? That's where like somebody like a pass catching receiver or a pass catching tight end like Sadiq is such a mismatch, because, bro, we think our linebackers are bad. Have you seen some of the linebacker play throughout the NFL? Like trying to guard tight ends. Like, it's not great, dude. It's just not. Like, these linebackers are just not equipped to run with some of these athletic tight ends. They're just not. So it's like, I would be highly considering that, to be honest.
Well, and in this scenario too, the Bengals should run basically this exact scenario. All these guys are off the board, and here's pick 10, and we don't love it. And that should tell them right now, if they do something like this, we better hammer free agency the best we can for the defense. You know, that opens everything up.
Yep. Yeah.
I think we go into this season, like, if we don't have a big free agency, their number 10 pick is on the board right there. It's Kendrick Falk, probably.
Kendrick Falk. It would not be surprising to me at all if they took Kendrick Falk.
He hasn't showed up in any of the mocks yet to us, though. Maybe one. So, like, I don't know. I just don't think they would take a duplicate of like Shamar Stewart per se, back-to-back years. I actually think there may be more of a tendency to probably lean towards like a defensive interior guy, like on the D line. I actually think that's probably what they're actually focused on. And that's where, like, obviously the Woods, the Banks conversation comes into play. The Katie.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you mentioned him, because if the medicals check out, that would be a crazy swing to me, because the injuries, he only played in 3 games, recurring foot issues. But holy shit, man, if he pans out. Taking him at 10 would be crazy, but that would be a guy in this scenario they should consider. Caleb Banks.
Oh, okay, yeah.
6'6", like 334. He moved, like, his feet and hands should not move the way they do at that size. It's just you haven't seen enough of it. And even when he did play last year, you saw it in the last couple games against Ole Miss and LSU. But other than that, you didn't see the impact you expected to see. But man, he's got rare athleticism for that size.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a funny story about him. So do you remember they played Utah, the opening game of the year? I think it was like a Thursday night game, maybe, when they beat Florida. I think that was like 2 or 3 years ago.
I was going to say, I do not remember that.
Yeah. But I live downtown, and the team was staying like right across the street. I was walking down the street and I saw him outside. I was like, holy shit, he's a big motherfucker.
He's huge.
Yeah.
Hey, and he is 22 years old, not 24, as some reported. He even commented under my post where I clipped him up the other day, and someone said, but what age is he? And he commented personally and said, here's my birthday. It's March. I'm 22. He'll be turning 23. He's not already 24 like it has in some places. So he's 22 years old, which is a lot better than 24, obviously.
Yeah, totally. You know what comes next? Because they're already lying on him. You know, these draft people, they're gonna say some type of like off the field thing to try to knock him down and then draft him. It's nasty work, man.
Chop, where's your face at, man? You ripping a heater?
Yeah, ripping heater, man.
Me too. But we're going to do our NFL picks, then we'll get into the free agent edge rushing class and look at that, who might potentially – hey, there you go. Is that a tampon? Are you ripping a tampon?
No, it's you know what it is?
Tampon.
But the first game is Saturday at 4:30. It's Buffalo at Denver. I recapped that I went 6-0, Dustin. Chop went 4-2. You went 1-5, buddy. You got some work to do. Well, you had a whole reset for the playoffs and went 1-5. They were all close games. To be fair to you, they could have all swung a different way. You know what I mean? Like, I could be 0-6 instead of 6-0. They were some very good games in that first round. But Buffalo at Denver, I'll pick first, I guess, but I wrote down one thing, changed it, marked it out earlier, and wrote down another. I'm going with Denver. I'm going with the home team. I know Crip would be disappointed that I didn't pick his Buffalo Bills. I do think the Bills should find a way to win because they have the better quarterback. But how the hell can I trust their receivers? And if Denver, who is just a great defense, can slow down the run game, they're going to have a real chance to win that game. And just the edge at home, I'm going to go Denver, but I don't love that pick.
I'll go with Buffalo. I think Buffalo's going to pull it out. Like, I can see that Buffalo winning for 3 quarters, man, and Denver coming back in the fourth quarter and winning like they've been doing all year.
Right. You guys know I'm a Bo Nix hater, but he's played really good. So it's like, I expect now that I picked them, that he'll turn into the guy I thought he was.
Well, hopefully, because I picked the Bill.
Who's Josh Allen going to throw to? Everybody's hurt. Who's going to get open against Patrick Surtain?
I know.
Brandon
I know it's a huge concern for me.
Yeah,
like that's why I went Denver, but
I'm going to go with Denver as well. That home field advantage. You're in the Mile High Stadium, and that crowd is going to be turned up like big time for that game. Because, Denver's got a big following, man. It's like one of those teams that you kind of forget about and like the success they've had over the years.
Well, and they were the 1 seed.
Yeah, they're the 1 seed. Yeah. Yep. And coming in fresh, I don't know. I just kind of think it's just like it's one of those games. I don't think any of these games.
The week off can hurt you, though.
Yeah, I think I don't think any of these games are going to be like super easy on the eyes. To be honest, I think they're going to be slugfests. I could see this being like a 24 to like 13 game or something like that, or like Denver, where it's like close all game and then Denver scores like a late touchdown or something like that.
Well, what's the weather?
I think the weather's fine. So the weather's going to be good. Yeah, it's pretty sunny out here now.
I mean, here's the thing. Buffalo's played in shit weather. So it's not like you got Miami if it was bad. You know what I mean? It's not Los Angeles team, Miami. It's not any of that. All right. So the next game is the 8:00 game. San Francisco at Seattle. And, well, Sam Darnold, questionable. That throws a wrench in things. Don't really believe in him anyways, but they need him. Really good defense. Dustin, you will pick first on this one.
I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers. I'm a Shanahan dude. I love Christian McCaffrey. I like the white dream team. I sucks that Kittle went down. It doesn't make any sense that they beat Seattle because Seattle roughed them up a couple weeks ago. But I think that oblique injuries are not good, bro.
For Sam Darnold.
Right. Yeah. And their offensive coordinator was already talking about their backup Lock getting reps. I don't think that's good. I don't think it's good. So I'm going to go Niner gang.
Yeah, if you're relying on Drew Lock to beat the 49ers and Robert Saleh as defense coordinator, that's kind of a rough spot. It does suck that Kittle's out, I will say. But he was out most of the last game, and they beat Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Chop?
Yeah. Oh, well. I would have 100% hammered down on Seattle except for the questionable status of Sam Howell. So I'm taking the Niners. I mean, it was a little close in my head.
Sam Darnold. Sam Howell is a quarterback.
Sam Howell
in the NFL.
Yeah, well,
Sam Darnold.
they're related.
Sexy quarterback.
They both have the same first name, so it's like they're brothers.
He's the sexy quarterback, isn't he?
That's right. But yeah, that dude's good looking. But I think it was going to be a little bit close, although I thought Seattle was going to win. But taking that into account, I'm just going to go with the 49ers.
Well, I mean, Seattle does have the home field, and it can get crazy in Seattle. And you both picked San Francisco.
The only stadium that's literally known as the 12th man.
You guys are really wanting to make me change my pick. I had also wrote down San Francisco.
Stick with your pick. Quit being a pussy, man.
I'm going to stick with the pick, but with you both picking San Francisco, and then maybe Sam Darnold's not even injured, and this is mind games by Seattle, and they got that home field advantage, and they got a fantastic defense. And Jackson Smith and Jigba, he might say it doesn't matter who's throwing me the ball because I went to the Ohio State University. Wide receiver, you, not LSU, Chop.
You got it, man.
But I'm still going San Francisco. So we'll move into the Sunday games. 2 more games on Sunday. The first one at 3:00. Houston at New England. Mike Vrabel, he won in the playoffs, got that monkey off his back. I'm sure they maybe had won before, but either way. But CJ Stroud looked awful in the last game. They still got a lot of weapons, and they're a defensive team. I don't know what the weather will be like, but Houston can play in any weather, because of their defense, because of their run game. So I'm going Houston to win on the road, but I think that could be a close game.
I'm taking New England in this game. They're playing in New England, right?
Yep.
I mean, I really don't take that as the reason I'm picking them to win. I just think that New England's on this fucking feel-good high story, and I think it's going to continue. Originally I thought it was going to be New England and Seattle, but I'm changing that up. But I'm picking New England for this one. I think that you're right. CJ Stroud has been bad. Their offense hasn't been good. So did Nico Collins go down last game?
Yeah. Yeah, but those young guys are good. Jaden Higgins, who had the bit? Christian Kirk, right?
Christian Kirk, Higgins, basically plays. Yeah, and they got the other cat from
Iowa State. Yeah, the returner, and I'm blanking on his name. I know exactly who you're talking about because I liked him coming out too. But
bro, they get Tank Dell back next year too. You know what I mean? They're just they're stocked. They've been killing it in the draft.
Tank Dell ain't playing this weekend. Patriots.
That's true.
You know who the Texans need to thank for all their success?
Me?
Andrew Berry, because he traded for Deshaun Watson and just gave
right
gaggle of picks, But this shows when you have declining players, and I don't know, he had off the field stuff, why you try to strike when the iron's hot. You know what I mean? You can get draft picks and build your team up in so many different ways. So, but I digress. Trey Henderson. So my pick for this game is going to be the Texans. Will Campbell, welcome to Will Anderson world. You struggled to pass block against the Chargers last week. Good luck out there on the island, my boy. Will Anderson, which is actually LeBron James' son. Let's be honest. He looks just like Bronny James.
Well, you also have the man Sheldon Rankins. Why can't the Bengals ever get a defensive tackle like Sheldon Rankins? You see the big man take one back to the house?
Bro, he came to Cincinnati, got coached up, went down there, and look at him dominate now.
What happened.
Did you guys see the article about him from last year, though? It was hard for him to even get out of bed.
Yeah.
Well,
I said during our shows last year, the whole time, I'm like, people are like, where's Sheldon Rankins? I'm like, we should be worried, something seriously health
and it was
going on with him. And I said meningitis or something. They're not saying it some kind of spinal infection or something.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's healthy this year and he's playing good football. Good for it. And honestly, when he was healthy, the Bengals were using him wrong anyways because they got rid of DJ Reader and they were trying to play him at nose tackle. And it's that's not what he is or has ever been. So,
you know how I love what the Texans do is they just rush 4, so it's hard to move the ball in the secondary. I mean, that's every defensive coordinator's dream. That's what Vic Fangio does a lot. But they'll rush.
Well, they've got the corners to do whatever they need to, though. The corners can hold up too.
Yeah, and they'll just have Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson just get up the field. Yeah. What I love what they do, watch them on a Saturday or Sunday, is they game a lot in the middle. So you have these defensive edges that are collapsing the pocket, and you have the guards probably trying to scrape out to double, and then you got these games on the interior. It's just a nightmare to block the Texans.
Well, and sometimes they bring guys like Jalen Petrie at safety, who's phenomenal.
He's awesome.
They can bring him down and bring him on a blitz, and that guy just makes plays. So I expect Jalen Petrie to make a big play in this game. Just tossing that out there.
It just sucks is, obviously in the AFC, I don't want them to be dominant, but they're going to have to pay all these guys soon. So it's going to be, the Texans defense, I guess we got to enjoy it while they have all these guys on. Rookie.
Well, unless they just say, you know what, CJ Stroud, we're not going to pay you.
Yeah, right.
And then we're just going to draft a quarterback and be like, our defense carries us in the run game. And we'll just reset with another rookie. Fuck it.
Did we just spark a new theory you actually want your quarterback to be middling so you don't have to pay him a lot, but you know that you have such a strong defense, it doesn't matter.
Right.
You just, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
you know,
Like,
just get you a new quarterback, like use him up for his rookie contract 4 or 5 years, and then get a new one.
I mean, there's an argument to be made, and I know San Francisco's defense kind of fell off, and but Brock Purdy, like, and I know he's not played bad, and he doesn't have very many weapons, but like, I don't know. You would think, hey, we didn't need to pay Brock Purdy. You know, we'll see how that works out here in the next couple of years, because I think that's a prime example where they could have just put anybody at quarterback with the way their team's set up to run the ball and with the defense they have.
NFL, we're playing this like cat and mouse game because it's like you have your rookie quarterback, and that's when you can build around them. I mean, that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
If you see like a lot of the teams, maybe outside the Buffalo Bills right now, Texans, Bills, or Texans, Broncos, Darnold's deal is decent, but it's not like a huge cap restriction. Like, you got really good like quarterback contracts on those teams. You know, it's not a shocker. They all have awesome defenses, you know. It's just, that's why it's like maybe someday we have a quarterback salary cap that's separate, because it makes it super difficult when you have.
Well, that's a good point, because you look, Denver, rookie contract quarterback.
Yep.
New England, rookie contract quarterback. Chicago
backed up.
Chicago, rookie contract quarterback, and Stroud still on his rookie
contract.
And all those teams have a chance to win in advance to be the Final Four potentially.
Yep.
But getting into the Chicago, you've got the Los Angeles Rams at Chicago, and I still don't think the Rams have looked that good. You said going into last week they didn't look that good, Dustin. They won the game, but I didn't think they looked that good again last week.
Nope.
But it's in Chicago, but I still don't fully trust Chicago as much as I'm one of the guys who never gave up on Caleb Williams. He's my quarterback one. I said, he's fine. He'll be fine. I think Ben Johnson going there has helped a lot because he knows how to put weapons around him, and he's got a ton of weapons. And the run game is really good. I like their run game. I like what they did with their offensive line. They still need some work on their defense, and that's the reason that I'm picking the Rams, is because I don't think the Bears' defense now is near at the same level as their offense as far as talent, you know. I think they got a lot of weaknesses. They could use another edge rusher, another linebacker, another corner. Like, they got weak spots on every level of their defense. So for me, I'm picking the Rams for that reason, even though they haven't looked that good.
Well, I made my pick last night. I was talking to it was actually this morning. The director of my department came in, and she just recently moved here from Illinois. And so she was talking about how her family's coming in for the weekend, you know, because she hasn't completely moved down here, and they're going to be watching the game because they're all Bears fans. And I told her my condolences. So there's your pick. I'm picking the Rams, man. I told her my condolences. I just think that the Rams are going to go up there, and I never really believed in Caleb Williams. So I keep carrying that belief until he proves me wrong. I mean, he's been doing
well, just like Ryan Sparks. He said he's my quarterback 4, and he still thinks he's right about that. See, he was my quarterback 1. I still think I'm right. I think he's good enough now, because he makes plays that other people can't.
Mm-hmm.
And then he makes a lot of dumb decisions too. I've never thought that he didn't, but
yeah.
Dale, where were you with Austin Booker in the 23 draft? Like,
about where he went, around 3rd, 4th round? Tremendous upside, and he's flashed the potential. He's still like so damn thin.
Yeah.
But like, this guy's got legitimate pass rush juice coming out of Kansas, and he went about where I thought, and just a great pick. Like, you take that swing all day, every day. I think they did get him in the 4th round. And that's about where I'm at. Like, you take that swing, and at worst, you just let him rush the passer in those situations. He can do that, and he's long and athletic.
Yeah, so that's like somebody that, because I think the Rams have struggled a little bit at left tackle. I like to see him get busy, you know.
Shit, I might have to go back and pick the Bills. Got Ed Oliver, Curtis Samuel. Who's he going to throw to? Curtis Samuel from the Ohio State University. Now, I don't know that Samuel will have a big impact, but Ed Oliver could if he's healthy. Like, that's a guy that can get after it along with Bosa in their D line. But sorry to cut you off, Dustin. Just wanted to pop that up. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, Brandon Cooks was burning people last week for the Bills, dude. Like, what the hell? Yeah, we could have used him in the slot, maybe. Feel me? But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Rams too. I actually think, despite the weather, I just think like this is gonna be one of those games where the arsenals are gonna be put on display because the Rams they struggle in the secondary. Chicago's defense just generally struggles too. I mean, they got players on their team, which is kind of surprising. Like you had Stevenson that you gave money. You got Jacoby Brissett. What's his name? Brisker.
Brissett.
It's not Brissett. Like
Brisket.
Yeah.
Brisket.
Penn State.
You hungry? You hungry, bro?
Penn Station sounds good.
Work killed me today. I didn't even fucking but then also yeah, just the Bears defense is kind of like we saw it in Cincinnati. Like they've gotten a little bit better, but like I just think like Puka and all those dudes are like I just think this is going to be the most fun game of the weekend. I'll just leave it at that. But I want to take the Rams.
All right. One we all took. So put your money on Chicago. And it pained me, honestly, not to take Chicago because they're my Chicago Bears that I said would be the surprise team. They even won a playoff game. But hey, I never said they'd win 2 playoff games. I never said they'd win 1, to be fair. I just said surprise playoff team. So they've kind of exceeded my expectations. If they win another one, holy shit. Maybe I'm going to dress up as Mike Dick at that point. Maybe I'm going to dub as. I'm going to be
maybe
all
just
in
dressed up as Dick.
Would you guys say that performance by Green Bay and their coaching staff in the second half was one of the worst playoff coaching performances you've ever seen in a game?
Zach Taylor is the head coach of my favorite team in the NFL.
Yeah.
So
he's done good in the playoffs, though. You know what I mean?
Oh, you said playoffs?
Yeah, playoffs. Yeah, playoffs. Like it's second half. Like
we just don't make it at all. But we do fine if we get there. But okay, you're right. You said play. See, I just was like, in general, I've seen some pretty bad coaching performances.
Yeah.
Listen, we're Cincinnati Bengals fans. We probably won't even know what to do with ourselves if we win the damn Super Bowl because we're so used to bitching and complaining.
No, I know
what to do with myself.
We got so close, man. I was just gonna be so happy. I was gonna I'll probably run around naked on the highway.
I'm fucking buying myself. I'm gonna buy and wear out a fucking brand new $high fleshlight. I'm gonna wear that bitch out.
It was funny. I do got a homie in LA, and he was like kind of funny. Like we talked about this before, but the following season, LA after the Super Bowl, they had a lot of. I don't even think they made the playoffs. And he's like, dude, the fans were acting like they didn't even win a Super Bowl.
It meant so much to us. I'm still mad at Ron Tolbert. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened in the end zone that I was sitting in for that game at the Super Bowl.
Man, you and Greg were both there. Holy shit.
Man, half of the show. Well, I was going to say half the show, but is Greg part of the show?
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know. But, man, we got some $high motherfuckers up in here.
Yeah, $high.
Credit card. Swipe it, bro.
Credit card.
Yeah.
I feel you on that.
You're still making payments on that trip then.
But I will
YOLO.
The Super Bowl experience is kind of interesting because you feel the gravity of it when it starts, but just probably the players too, you get in the second quarter of the game and you're kind of like, oh, this is just like another game, right?
You have a picture of your picture at the Super Bowl?
I have I got tons of pictures. I got the video of the halftime performance.
No, I mean that panoramic camera that they put up where you could go to the website and find yourself in the crowd.
Did they have that then?
I don't think they had that then.
They did it because Dr. Newton that brings the donuts to the tailgate.
Did he
we found him there. Man, we searched all over that fucking stadium to find his ass too.
You know what? Here's the other thing. We were supposed to, so we got the ticket. We were supposed to get, that's when NFTs were popping because it was during COVID or after or whatever. We were supposed to get an NFT of our so the digital copy of our ticket, like the NFT token. we never got it.
Ah.
So, yeah, the NFL screwed us on that. So I
Hey,
don't even
just
know.
curious though, how much do you pay for a Super Bowl ticket?
It's well over $6,000.
Oh God, bless America.
One or
Yeah.
two?
Yep. Dude, here's the thing. If you're gonna go to a game during
Was that just one ticket? Chop
that
was
was
asking.
one, yeah. That's one.
Oh,
Oh my God.
It is
Yeah.
a once in a lifetime thing though, man. And
Yeah,
it's your
here's the
team,
thing.
you know.
I will say though, it's
And if
super,
they would have won though, Dustin, 100,000% worth it. I would fucking love it.
yeah. I mean,
feel
it was
ya.
it's worth the experience. I mean, I
Yeah.
gotta say I went to the Super Bowl. Here's what I'll say though, too, is it's super corporatized. Now, I will say the
Yeah.
Bengals fans, I met so many people from Cincinnati, like all over the place. Like people did like show up and individuals were buying this, but it's also like very corporatized too. So like during any playoff run, I think the best game to go to is probably like the AFC Championship or the divisional round or something like that. You know what I mean? Because it's super. The Super Bowl is. I hate to say it because it's awesome, but it's also super corporate too, which we all.
Dude, I mean, I was at the game on that run because that was the first year of my season tickets
Yeah.
when we beat the Raiders. That was just, oh man, like the greatest thing ever, you know? And like,
That game,
me-
Dale,
like-
I wasn't there, and it's one of the reasons I got my tickets now.
well, me, Derek, Sarah, Marissa got a hotel. Me and Derek slept on a pull-out couch together that night. Fun fact.
Hell
I
yeah.
rewatched that Raiders game
Were you
and was
Big
doing
Spoon or
Jaeger
was
bombs
Derek?
till about 6 a.m. Then I was snoring like a motherfucker beside him when I finally fell asleep at like 6 a.m.
So you were Big Spoon.
I don't know what I was. He's lucky he didn't get probably peed on that night because I drank.
Oh, he might have liked it.
He might have.
I will say, like as we went through these picks, I will say that the divisional round is my favorite weekend of the playoffs because you still have us 4 games, right? So you have 2 games per day, but then it's also you still have like the wild card teams, and then like you get to see all the teams. When it goes to like the championship games, it's kind of like there's only 2 games, so-
Yeah. You start the depression sinks in. Last week was amazing though. I ain't gonna lie, because the games were amazing.
Totally. Yeah, no, last week was amazing. That was one of the best wild card weekends that I've seen. I just remember watching for a while,
Oh, dude, it was amazing.
I
the
think
the NFL needed that. To be fair,
Didn't we also all enjoy not watching the Chiefs in the playoffs? That's part
exactly. Yes, and the Steelers lost. Like,
Mhm.
man,
of it. Yeah, you're right.
Kid-
beyond our team being in it and winning, it was damn near perfect.
yeah.
Oh, and the breakdown from fucking Tyler Kelly in the text, man. He was lashing out at me. I was just fucking with him. I like sent him like the video of Renegade or whatever. And he's
They
like,
didn't do Renegade. Did you hear
Huh?
that? They didn't
What?
do Renegade at the game this past week or on Monday.
well, no, I just think it's funny to send it to the Steelers fans after they lost, send them the Renegade song. But he was lashing out, talking about our team, like I'm just fucking with him.
All right. Well, this
I
is
was like,
fun, but
welcome to Cancun.
we
I
have
was-
got to get into some defensive end talk because that's what I set the show as. It's a free agent.
Okay.
I want to start with this 2 Bengals at the top of the list because they're Bengals and they're free agents. One is Trey Hendrickson, 31 years old, and some of these ages, either they've turned it or they're turning it, whatever. 90 pass rush grade, 56.8 run defense grade, 16 tackles, 4 sacks, played in 4 sacks in 5 games. He was still that guy as a pass rusher. But 31, did he quit on the team? This, that, and the other. I don't see a path where he's back, but we're starting with him. Any thoughts on Trey Hendrickson?
I don't know the medicals. Like if we knew that he was good to go for the whole season, would I franchise tag him? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I guess it depends on how
I'm out. I'm out on paying him $30 million or more a season. I'm just out on it. I never thought I would say that coming into this season, and even when he first got hurt, I'd seen enough from Miles Murphy, and I think that Al Golden will use other young guys we get. So I'm out. I think we can use that money better to improve the overall defense. So
I agree with you 100%. And I said that going into last season is that I was worried about paying all these guys, but it's just hard to. I do agree with you about. I don't think he's coming back, But in my head, I remember these last fucking years, man, with these 17.5 sacks and how much we could use that. But unless for the injury, they might throw him like a 2-year contract that's not $30 million a year, maybe like $20 million a year.
It would have to be so incentive based too on play time.
Exactly. And so if that was the case, and you could get him for like $20 million a year with some incentives or whatever, I would.
Yeah. Well, hey, you can make 2 years, $60 million. You can make $30 million a year, but $10 million of it is purely on performance and playing time.
15 sacks. Boom.
Could I say he might be the last man standing though? Meaning, I think a lot of these free agent edges are probably going to get franchise tagged. Were, Odafe Owe. I mean, Jalen Phillips. Like,
well, we'll get to all of them, but thoughts on Trey first.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he might be just our like, and that's the thing.
He's going to get paid somewhere else if that happens.
Well, I was going to say, as Bengals fans, are you going to consider that like a free agent signing?
I mean, it would be.
I don't.
But I think like it will feel like we're taking the same player back. So because if it's like if you don't sign Trey, let's say you get Odafe Owe, who I want, he might end up getting franchise tag because the Chargers have a lot of salary cap. Yeah. You may be stuck because of the defensive edge free agent market. It's Jalen Phillips, Odafe Owe, Trey Hendrickson. There's some other guys, but they're not as like impactful as like a Trey Hendrickson. So like,
I mean, to be fair,
you know what I mean? Like it's just I don't know, bro. It's just
hopefully
like,
we hit gold like we did with Trey because Trey was not impactful either when we got him.
Well, that's why I circled Odafe Owe. I just think the Chargers are gonna franchise that. You know?
Well, he's been more impactful, I feel like, than Trey was since he went, to the Chargers. So I kind of agree with you. But so Trey, we're probably all out on. We won't spend too much time talking about him. I'm sure he'll be brought up and talked about later on. Joseph Ossai turning 26, so not even 26 yet. 62.4 pass rush grade, 70.7 run defense grade, 43 tackles, 5 sacks. Missed a couple games at the end with injury. I don't want to pay him $20-25 million a year, but I would like him back at the right price. He wanted to sign a 3-year, $45 million contract. I would be okay with that because he plays his ass off, and he's only getting better, and he's still fairly young. He could be a re-signing that is the Trey Hendrickson. He could be a signing for another team that is the Trey Hendrickson.
You're right. He could.
I think we signed Trey for 4 years, $60 million. I know that all the market goes up. I get that. But $15 million a year is kind of the sweet spot for Ossai for me. And I would do 3 years, but I guess if you had to do 460, I wouldn't be mad at it.
I mean, I like the sound of that, but I just don't think that David Mulugheta is going to go $15 million a year. You know what I mean? He's gonna push for, like you said, 20-25, and I think more closer to 25. I think that's what he's gonna push for with Ossai, even though that he hasn't really had a whole lot of production in his career.
But what also dictates that is what it's always with free agency. Your market is what other teams are willing to pay for you. What are other teams willing to pay for Joseph Ossai? And that
goes back to what you said too, Dustin, about if a bunch of people get franchise tagged.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, I love having this conversation. It's like everybody's like, "Hey, you got to attack free agency."
You do.
Are you going to pay Quiddy pay like $40 million a year? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I know.
It's like
maybe.
It is all touch and go. That's why I like to kind of look at them, who's out there, and then it'll start dwindling down when it gets closer.
Sure.
Who did get franchise tagged, and you go from there. Who's available after? Not a lot of players got franchise tagged, or if they didn't get franchise tagged because they re-signed. And that's the thing. Like, how many of those guys, like, we're just going to franchise tag you, or do you want to take this? That's how you should use it. That's how you should use the franchise tag.
Yeah.
It's to get a long-term deal kind of on your terms.
Yeah, it kind of sucks for the player, to be honest, because if you are Odafe Owe, you would love to test the market because the defensive edge market, I would say, in free agency is not spectacular. There's some gems in there, but if the Chargers can just throw the franchise tag on him, he's like, fuck, dude, I could have like went out in the free agent market and got a bunch of money,
And he is next on my list. He's 27, so he's older than Osai by like at least a year and a half. But 27 is not old by any means. He's in his prime, and he's played his best football. 77.7 pass rush grade. Now, some of these grades may have changed for guys in the playoffs and stuff. I made this list 2 or 3 weeks ago, to be fair. But I think it's a good enough sample size to still talk about. It didn't change that much. 61.4 run defense grade. And at that point, he had 33 tackles and 7 sacks. He had more sacks since then, I'm sure. So he probably –
Owe had 3 sacks last week against the –
So he's over double digits. Yeah, that's the guy. That's the one that you would spend the money if he hits. But as you mentioned, Dustin, there's a good chance that he doesn't ever hit free agency.
Here's the problem too, guys. It's like I think like teams are so much better at managing their salary caps now. It used to be like when Trey signed with us, I think the Saints were having some salary cap stuff, right? These teams have gotten a lot better, so it's like they can fit more players in now. But like, let's moving that all to the side. He's my target number one, Odafe Owe. Since he came to the Chargers, his pass rush win rate has increased. Will Campbell is going to have nightmares because he got 3 sacks on him last week. He just continues his get off, his explosiveness. He has all the traits, and he's got experience now too, man. So that's a guy that I would have circled as my number one target for defensive end for sure.
Yeah, probably for all of free agency, if we're being honest. Like
for sure. I mean,
he is that guy. I want to mention this from Ryan. So Darian Mensah, the quarterback for Duke, he could have came out in the draft, considered it in a weak class, but now he entered the portal. After re-signing with Duke, I've never seen more of a Miami Hurricane in my life because they don't have a quarterback for next year.
So he signed with Duke, and now he's going to – he's the new Desmond Williams?
He is 100% going. My guess is Miami. It could be a lot of teams, but Miami jumps out to me because they're constantly getting – and he would – be good. Yeah, sounds like Miami is the main.
Like you were talking about with these defensive ends, same thing with college. Like the next quarterback that gets signed in college is going to make more than what LSU paid Sam Levitt, and it's because there's nothing left. They're picking on scraps now.
And Mintz is good. Like he's really good.
I love him. Since Tulane, man. Since Tulane.
Yeah.
Now, I saw something earlier. That's why I was a little surprised that news hit because I saw earlier that Duke's like, well, what he signed, we control his NIL and this and that is how they understood things. But it's like, I don't know. Hopefully he had a good agent/lawyer or agent and a lawyer. Hopefully he knows what he's doing. We kind of saw that with Demon Williams, as you mentioned, Chop, who ended up ultimately going back. So we'll see if he's back at Duke. Or if he goes to Miami. But that is interesting news just to pop it in since it happened. But continue on this train. Any thoughts on Owe, Chop, or?
No. I mean,
okay.
I mean, at this point, to tell you the truth, if we're the free agents, I would like to re-sign Joseph Osai for a good deal. I know we're talking about guys coming from the outside, but I mean, that sounds like a nice piece, but
I'm
just save the cash and
well, it depends on the money. If you get Osai for 15, sure.
Yeah.
Owe's probably going to cost 30 plus the season he had.
And we need a lot of help in a lot of areas.
Yeah,
I do think when you go into this free agency, you can make a big splash if you want to, but also, and I would love that, man, like the big splash with your guy, what is it, Owe?
Odafe Owe, who, man, the Ravens could use a guy like that. They traded him this year.
Yeah, so, I mean, but we need a lot in free agency, so I'm hoping that they hit all 3 levels in free agency, and you can't hit all 3 levels at the top tier, but, like, with that pass rush juice, that sounds good to me. Like, I'm not going to be pissed off about it, that's for sure.
No, and here's the thing for me. If you are going to pay him $30 million, I would rather pay him $30 million than Trey $30 million.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Younger
What's
guy.
their salary cap look like out there in L.A.?
Dustin said they got a lot of cap.
So they'll probably keep him.
Well, they'll franchise them / hey, we're going to franchise you, or we can just work out an extension now.
Yeah.
Type thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, and then you got to think look how many teams want pass rush. San Francisco. Baltimore. I mean, I think Pittsburgh probably, like, what are they going to do with TJ Watt? Like, they're probably going to be looking for pass rushers. So
Yeah.
this defensive edge, like, it's shrink down because
You
there's
think
so many.
TJ Watt will want out?
No, I mean, he's under the guaranteed contract, so he's all set. It's just kind of like, does Pittsburgh, like, they're kind of stuck with the contract.
Yeah, I was going to say, they probably can't get out for a few years, so it is what it is. He's going to be there, and he's going to make a lot of money.
Yeah, it's going to age like spoiled milk, man. That's
Which
why
could have happened. It could have happened with the Bengals had they signed Trey. We could be having a similar conversation. He could have still got injured, missed the whole season, but already be on the books for $30+ million next year. So
yeah, and that's where we were talking about before, but like now TJ Watt and then Max Crosby getting hurt, all these older guys like Dre Henderson's probably like, shit, guys, you're not helping me out here.
Yeah.
Well, and he had an offer for what, like 3 years,
Yep.
$90 million or somewhere around that, reportedly, and turned it down because he thought he should get more. And hey, maybe you should have, but at the same time, maybe you should have taken that. But to be fair, he'll probably still get 30+ on the open market.
I mean, also to be fair, he's coming off of 2 back-to-back 17.5 sack seasons. So, I mean,
For sure.
It was under his value. But when you calculate the age, and there are outliers, and here in Cincinnati, the Andrew Whitworth outlier really haunts us. And so everybody thinks once you get to 30, you could be Andrew Whitworth. Well, he's an outlier.
Yeah,
Like, there are players that can play at an elite level after 30, but it is not the majority. It's like a small percentage that can play at a high level after 30. Your body just starts breaking down.
Well, let's run through some more of these edge guys. Chop, I know you got to go in a few minutes, but the next one is Jalen Phillips. He's turning 27, so just now 26. 77.8 pass rush grade, 51.1 run defense, 47 tackles, 4 sacks.
We should be making a bigger push with that guy. I mean, 100% like take a bigger push towards Joseph Osai.
He'll probably get paid quite a bit too. Dustin?
Man, it's tough. Yeah. I mean,
some of the, and I'm just kind of listing names, and some of the thoughts may just be, we'll see. We'll see if he's franchise tagged. He got traded. Where did he get traded to?
oh, shoot.
He got traded from the Dolphins to somebody, right?
Eagles.
Yeah, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
He didn't really do anything with Philly, did he?
No, he had like one good game. The thing with Jalen, he's been banged up quite a bit, you know. So it's
which
like,
could hurt his market. Yeah.
and that's the thing. It's just like, what do you give Jalen Phillips, right? Like, he's got tremendous upside, but like, do you get a value contract out of him because he's cheaper, because he's injured all the time? It's
mean, it's once again, I think I would just re-sign Joseph Osai, even if the contracts are similar.
Yeah, I would agree. Stick with the stick with who you know too. You know, it's like, because that's like something that you got to consider about like any like team, even if you're drafting players or signing them on free agency. It's like, how many players do we see switch teams sometimes that they just don't have the same impact because of like maybe coaching or a scheme or whatever else. So
What were you doing, Job?
What?
You were like all the way up in the screen. I was concerned.
What?
Okay, never mind. Do you got to get off here, buddy?
Yeah, shortly.
Okay.
Go a little bit.
The next one is Draymond Jones, and I could have put him with D tackles, but he's played more on the edge lately, and the Ravens had traded for him. He's 29, 67.5 pass rush grade, 59.8 run defense, 35 tackles, 6 sacks. Like I said, some of these numbers are probably different. This was, once again, a few weeks ago. I just haven't went through and updated it all. It gave me a nice base starting point for where they were at from basically through most of the regular season. I like Jones, but at the same point in time, 29, what's his contract? Do the Ravens try to keep him? Any thoughts on Draymond Jones?
I mean, this whole show sounds like a show. It's like, hey, let's make you feel better about Joseph Osai.
It almost does, right? Because no one's like the pass rush grades, to be fair. Like Owe, especially. It's Odafe Owe podcast, as Dustin said yesterday.
This
It's
is Yeah.
Like, that's the guy you want if he hits the market. Will he hit the market is the question.
Also, it's the show where you realize that Joseph Osai is going to be priced out of Cincinnati.
That
he's
could
gonna
happen as well.
He's going to get
yeah.
paid way more than what he fucking has produced. Because when you read those PFF numbers, like I keep remembering Joseph Osai's numbers, they didn't sound great. They sound a lot fucking better than the last few people you've been talking about.
Yeah, his was 62 pass rush, which wasn't bad. And it's all effort too. Like the guy will work his ass off. But a 70.7 run defense grade is really good. 5 more sacks this season, into the season strong last year. Like,
yeah,
he's just been, and he played linebacker originally at Texas. So, like, this is a guy who just gets better and better and better to where it's like, it would not be surprising whether it's here or in another city that he has over 10 sacks.
Exactly.
Soon.
I mean, if the Bengals can get this deal done, I think it's going to be amazing. If it wasn't for the goddamn agent, man, I did heard some weird rumor that maybe he was going to go the same route as T and switch agents, but I haven't heard anything past that. And it could have just been some fucking guy saying it at work that I, overheard.
No, I heard that I saw something
Did you really?
about that on Twitter that maybe he would switch. Well, the way he talked that maybe he would want to switch agents because he really wants to be here type thing, but
if he does that, if he switch agents, I'm immediately going to go half Chubb.
Well, I mean, that was T. Higgins, right?
Yep. That's why I'd be excited because if he switches agents, I think that it would be the push to stay here. Or he'll just keep his agent if he's going somewhere else. Like, I feel like he knows that like Cincinnati's not got a real good history with David Malagueta. So maybe he'd switch to stay here, but if he goes somewhere else, why not keep him and get your money? Because one team, there's 31 teams out there, and one of them, besides us, will pay him.
Yeah. So, Dustin, any thoughts on Draymond Jones?
Oh yeah, Draymond Jones.
Yeah, I mean that's a guy. That's like here's like we're talking higher end like Odafe Owe pay. Draymond Jones is a guy that I think could be like I don't think the Ravens are going to bring him back. To be honest, like I just feel like that was somebody they were getting to kind of close out the season, try to see if they could get some juice.
Make the playoffs.
Yeah, make the playoffs. But he's a guy that I would on the low could be like a good value of free agency signing. So I would definitely be all over him for sure.
Yeah, he's the one that I think could really make a lot of sense if you lose Osai because he gets more money. And yes, Jones is, 3+ years older, a little over 3 years older. But hey, we can get you in here. Maybe it's only a 1-year deal, but we give you 10 million, 12 million. Okay, let's do it. 2 years, 25, fine.
Yeah.
And you can move him around and do a lot of things with him. And that gives the versatility along with what we see with like a Shamar Stewart, I think he would make a lot of sense if you really want to get versatile with your defensive line.
Yeah.
Next one's Joey Bosa, turning 31, 89.7 pass rush grade, very high pass rush grade, 55.1 run defense, 27 tackles, 5 sacks. Obviously, it's more than that now since the last time that I updated that. He's playing pretty good football down the
when
stretch
he's playing
and in the playoffs. Yes, but he's older. He's almost as old as Trey. What's he get paid? I don't know. But if you just want to come back to Ohio for a while, buddy, you played at Ohio State, I would be okay with that too.
He does.
I mean, price.
I like Joey Bosa, but he's injured a lot, isn't he?
Yeah, he's gotten banged up. Made some plays.
I wouldn't be mad though.
He's the new Kyle Van Noy. He's going to be the new pass rush mercenary, or you could say Clowney.
Just signed, and he's on that list too. Don't worry, he's 2 more down. But Bosa, just 1-year deal guy.
Yep, 1-year deals, 1-year deal, 1-year deal.
I wouldn't be opposed, depending how free agency goes. If he's out there, like, hey, this is a veteran. This is a guy who we know can rush the passer as an added guy.
If anything, this would be a free agency signing if the Bengals did it to show me that they changed their process a little bit, because this is a type of guy they normally do not sign. Like they don't do like the 1-year rent on tight ends they have, but like on defensive edges, they have really never done that before.
And they should. Like that's almost for the older guys. Like, hey, give me a 1 year. You're on a 1 year deal. You're going to do good. Like we've been begging for Calais Campbell at D tackle.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then if they turned into a pumpkin, guess what? You had him on a 1 year deal.
There you
so
go.
it's not going to hurt your cap. Chop, you got to go.
Yeah, I do.
All right, buddy. I love you. We'll continue rolling through this.
Love you guys too. See you,
brother.
Next Friday.
See you, brother.
See you, bro. Khalil Mack, 35 years old, but another guy who just continues producing. 68 pass rush grade, 81 run defense grade, 28 tackles, 5.5 sacks. Once again, these stats are all from a few 2 or 3 weeks back.
Yeah. Same mold with kind of Bosa. The kind of like again, it's just like these like pass rush mercenaries that you could just get on like 1 year contracts. I like either one of those are interchangeable for me.
I think I would take Bosa over him, just being younger. Like Bosa's not even 31 yet. Mac's already 35. Like I've been wanting Mac like last year or that, but I'm like at some point, man, the wheels have to fall off for a pass rusher.
Yeah, it does. And I think like, he probably graded out okay, but there was like some games this year where I can see like he was just non-existent too.
He's not the same Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
I wanted to keep him on the list because you never know. Jadeveon Clowney, 33 years old, 78 pass rush grade, 65.9 run defense, 31 tackles, 4 sacks. Solid. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's really an option. And it could be as simple as that as we run through these. Yeah, I don't think he's an option. Move to the next.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I don't either. That's always the tough call. It's like, Clowney got picked up halfway through the season with Dallas. Like, is maybe like a Khalil Mack, like somebody if like,
you're into training camp and they're out there and you got an injury.
Yes.
Go get them. That's what I would like the Bengals to do.
Yeah. And how nice is it to be the Bosas and the Khalil Macks of the world and even Von Miller, where it's like, I think I'll wait till after training camp to sign.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Next one is K'Lavon Chaisson, turning 27, 59 pass rush, 50 run defense, 22, 6.5 sacks stands out.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Young, solid. I mean, good length and burst. I think he's like one of those breakout candidates, man. Like he just like kind of a guy we talked about before, I think, so
yeah,
him is somebody that I would circle definitely too. Like we made a signing on somebody like that would get me really excited because of his age, because of his potential. He's getting better every year. So like, yeah, man, that would be a good one to go after too.
I know it's getting a phone call. That's weird. But Kwity Paye, you mentioned him earlier, 27, 57 pass rush grade, 66 run defense, 35 tackles, 4 sacks. I mean, okay, if you don't get Osai, he goes and makes big money, and this guy's out there for cheap in the second wave of free agency after all the initial guys. Maybe that's a guy you bring in.
Yeah. And I think sometimes players like Kwity Paye, like there's such high expectations because he was drafted in the first round for the teams that drafted them, that sometimes those are like the change of scenery guys, which like I think he's still been a really good player. But like I feel like a guy with like that change of scenery could be another guy that I would be really interested in for sure. Kwity Paye and Chaisson are two of those like potential value defensive end signings that you could get a lot of value at like not a record breaking price.
Yep.
So,
and this is why when I say attack free agency, I like to go through all these players. Because it's like there's always guys that you can bring in that may help, they may not, but you take swing after swing after swing to me in free agency.
Totally.
You have
to. Yeah. Yep. Plug gaps, man. If you can grab a guy like Kwity Paye and, if he doesn't work out, so what? Like, he's
at least rotational. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he'll give you rotational snaps. We're not saying you're going to give us 10. Maybe you give us 4 or 5. We'll take it. We'll take 4 or 5 sacks.
See, I'm okay missing on those types of guys. Like you said, I'll take that production. The contracts that you can't miss on are the big free agent signings, like the huge money. If you swing and miss on those and you get no production, your cap is basically just like a sunk cost. You know, it's just like essentially if you want to look at Trey Henderson this year, that was like a sunken cost. You know what I mean? Because like we didn't get anything out of him because he was hurt all year, you know?
But it didn't matter. Like they weren't proactive to go get anyone in the first place. Like, that's always the problem. And it's like, you know, you don't have the Jamar Chase, the T. Higgins contracts. Like, don't let Joseph Ossai, as much as we're talking through this, Joseph Ossai would be great to get. You have to be making other moves while you wait on his decision.
Totally.
They're bad at that. They're bad at that.
Yeah. I think the proactiveness is what we want to see. But it's like it's gonna be funny, the discourse though, if like we bring back Joseph Ossai, it will be like, oh, you guys are paying more for the same defense. You know? And actually, I think there is a misnomer. We were 27th ranked paid defense this year, by the way. So essentially, we had the same defense, but we were paying less this year. So like,
yeah, we definitely did not.
Right. He didn't want to pay the same for the he kept the defense the same, but he paid less. So,
Arden Key turning 30, 55 pass rush, 70 run defense, 20 tackles, 4 sacks at the time I put this together. A lot of these guys are in the same vein. I'll just go through the rest of this page, and then you talk about a couple of them that jumps out to you. So AJ Epinesa, 27, 63 pass rush, 44.8 run defense grade, 28 tackles, 2.5 sacks. Arnold Ebiketie, 27, 70.4 pass rush grade, 65.3 run defense grade, 35 tackles, just 1 sack. Boe Mafe, who I thought would have more production, loaded defense in Seattle, 67.9 pass rush grade, 62 defense grade, just 26 tackles and 1 sack. Logan Hall turning 26. A lot of people liked him in the draft coming out. 62 pass rush grade, 66.7 run defense grade, 35 tackles, a half a sack. Charles Omenihu turning 29, 57.2 pass rush grade, 66.9 run defense grade, 20 tackles, 3.5 sacks. Any of those guys jump out to you? Arden Key, AJ Epinesa, Arnold Ebiketie, Boe Mafe, Logan Hall, Charles Omenihu.
Probably Ebiketie would. I mean, I think some of those grades are solid. You know, he's a guy that I kind of always liked. No, obviously some of the production numbers aren't there, but I still think there's value for him. The other guys, they just don't give me enough juice. You know what I mean? Like there's just like I actually had pretty high expectations for Espinoza when he came.
Yeah,
into the league.
Out of Iowa.
Yeah,
he's got a brother in Iowa too.
I know. It's kind of wild. He actually started well in his career, and then he kind of just like has kind of somewhat fallen off. Yeah, so that would be the guy out of that group that I'd probably look at the most.
I've got 2 more young guys on the list, and that'll round out the defensive end free agent grouping. We'll do a lot of these with different ones and just go through them. But David Ojabo, turning 26, so still 25, 52 pass rush grade, 52 run defense, 13 tackles, half a sack, very little production. Yeah. Cameron Thomas, 26, 68.2 pass rush grade, 64.5 run defense grade, 21 tackles, 2.5 sacks. Anything on either of them?
No, I think I'm kind of in the same with that. Yeah, just not enough there, you know, like for me to really, you know, like I don't know, maybe like you get him like some kind of waiver claim.
Well, and with this free agent list, I do try to put together, you know, typically put the Bengals at the top and then go kind of like, oh, these are the more intriguing ones, goes down to like you get it's kind of like, you know, your A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, you know, and that's where you are. But the thing is with the Bengals, they'll play in that D tier a lot.
Yeah.
They'll, you know, and it's like I would like to see them at least get some of the B tier guys, C tier guys, you know. Let's not get down to you're just throwing a dart hoping for the best.
Yeah, and I think like you know, it's like you can let's say you get one of the B tiers. What's nice is like let's say you do draft like a David Bailey, you know, and he gets off to kind of a slow start. it's fine. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause you have a backup plan too. That's why I'm like, my roster building strategy is I like to double dip on the same positions, because like one guy's not going to hit, one guy's going to get injured, but then you're not like, okay, you put all your marbles into to that basket, hoping that person would come through right away. And you kind of got to do that a little bit just with the salary cap restrictions, and I think that's like what's been that kind of actually successful for the most part for the Ravens is they always like double down in the draft on players, because it's like instead of trying to fill all your holes, it's rather like let's build upon our strengths and double down on it. And that way, like, one of those guys go down, that's still not a gap in our defense or offense. You know what I mean? So that's how I kind of think about it.
Yes, Josh, we did talk about Jalen Phillips. We talked about a ton of players. We did a top 10 mock draft where all the top options were basically off the board. We made our playoff picks. It was 4 years ago, man. It was 4 years ago. Joe sent me this picture. Like, I met these studs, me and Orange Arrow, 4 years ago. Who Dey Joe? The Raiders playoff game, man. 4 years ago. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, time flies, man. It's almost like we're a different team now. You know what I mean? Like we still, well, kind of not, kind of are, but it's just like I do like the idea of in the next like 2 to 3 years to start trying to lean into the run game a little bit more. I like the idea of like rolling out these multiple big tight end sets too. I like the idea of the split back look with Chase Brown and somebody else, P. Ryan, whoever. And just kind of like, when we need to be explosive and bring 3 receivers on the field, let's do it. But I like the idea of being able to just like control the game a little bit more, because, the season we went 9-8, we were putting points all over the board, but like a lot of that was just like explosive plays too, like where our defense was right back out in the field. So, and I think that's something to be gleaned from these playoffs right now is the defenses are really strong. But I think the offenses do, and not like I really love that style of football. I love putting points on the board and explosiveness. But like when you look at this weekend, you're going to see a lot of probably like longer methodical drives, that sort of thing, ball control, and that's kind of what wins in the playoffs. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I still don't know how the Texans won with the way C.J. Stroud was turning that ball over.
Yeah.
Like that's just a testament to how much the Pittsburgh Steelers suck. And that makes me happy.
They could have lost by more too. Like that game could have been like 30.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it was bad. Like, and that's where it's like, to me, it's like, is like the organization coaching for Pittsburgh is strong, but like the opportunity as a new coach, you're going to have to convince like that leadership group there that this is like, we need to rip the Band-Aid off and do a rebuild.
We need a quarterback.
Yes, you need a quarterback, and your defense is aging.
Yeah.
So, and your defense is expensive as fuck. It was like the number 1 paid defense. They finished like 26th ranked defense this year. Now,
dude, and they went out and got DK Metcalf, and
he's a clown.
Yeah, and we all thought like that could blow up in their face. And it pretty much did. Sure, you made the playoffs. We didn't. I get that. But we all knew you always make the playoffs with Mike Tomlin. You're going to be one and done. And that's exactly what happened. As shitty as it is, I would rather not make the playoffs than lose in the playoffs every time I made it. I hated the Andy Dalton years. Hated it. I'm only good enough to make the playoffs and never actually be a legitimate contender to win a Super Bowl. That's a terrible place to be.
Yeah, and I will never feel bad for Pittsburgh fans, but like real talk, they were in like that perpetual hell where it's like, oh, you guys should be appreciative that your coach is getting you to the playoffs and you have all these winning seasons. And we're like, we're stuck here every year. Like it's like, you're in some kind of like torture chamber and you can't get out because it's like.
Josh asked, because he joined the show late, who is your number 1 edge for the Bengals to get in free agency? Dustin, it's the same one. I'll let you answer and why.
Yeah, Dafe is my number 1 edge. I mean, obviously the position and the scare of that is, the Chargers being able to exercise a franchise tag. The Chargers are in good cap space. I think they're around the same cap space as we are. And they were in cap trouble a couple years ago, so they've done a good job of maneuvering around. I just like his explosiveness. I think he gets off the ball fast. He was really productive when he came over from Baltimore, change of scenery with the Chargers. And I think he's just a player that at his age, he's starting to show some ability and kind of hit like some of his potential. So I think he's going in the right direction. So that's who I'd go after. But like
any thoughts on the national championship since we're not doing Monday shows? But if you got to go,
no, it's my thought is if Indiana wins the game, they can't get in a phone booth with Miami. Like you can't get in a phone booth and fight that fight. Like Miami likes to create chaos on a box. Indiana is going to have to attack them on the edges. I don't think Indiana's played an offensive line like this too. That could just move people. So I think Miami is going to do the best of dictating the game and making it a fist fight in a phone booth. If the Indiana falls into that, they lose. That's my assessment.
Well, it's exactly how Miami beat Ohio State.
Exactly.
We're just tougher than you.
Yep.
You want a dogfight? Let's have a dogfight, and we're gonna win it. We're gonna wear you down with the run game. That's the biggest key to me. You can talk about Baby Jesus, Malachi Tony, and that'll be a fun matchup for me as a draft evaluator. Malachi Tony, does D'Angelo Pond shadow him? But regardless, Tony's going to get touches everywhere. If he's shadowing him or not, they're going to give reverses, put him in the backfield. The Baby Jesus package where it's just a wildcat package and he's a quarterback.
Yep.
So he's going to get his touches. But it is, can Miami run the ball effectively? And they do a lot against Indiana's defense, who's just, man, the way they scheme things up is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, I know the way Indiana's coming off their game that it's like they're probably a huge favorite on betting sites. I don't bet, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
I imagine they're 5, 6, 7 plus, right?
I think it's 7. Let me go back
7?
to this quick. Yeah, it is. So Indiana is given 8.5 points. Yeah, they're favored by 8.5.
8.5. And I get it the way they've been putting belt to ass on these teams.
Yeah, the over-under is 47.5. So, that's
and they could blow them out. A turnover here, a turnover there. But that goes both ways. A turnover here, a turnover there changes everything. If Miami can run the ball with a phenomenal offensive line, Markel Bell, Francis Mawanoa, Anes Cooper, it's like Sampson. I can't even pronounce it, but the left guard is a guy for not this draft, but the following draft. That's like he is playing really good football. Brockemeyer, the center, is probably undrafted free agent this year. That offensive line is incredible for Miami. So if they can open up lanes, and you don't even, Mark Fletcher is huge and he's awesome. And there's also the other running back like Brown or something that's really good, Shamar Brown.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, and
they have to run the ball, and Carson Beck has to not turn the ball over, but he's made it to the title game by not making dumb mistakes.
Yeah, so I was going to say the other kind of X factor here is Carson Beck because he hasn't made mistakes, and the other thing that he's done is made plays with his feet too. So it's like, and that killed Ohio State, man. Like, because our defense couldn't, like, we had a couple third downs and he just used his feet and got the first down and it kept the chains going. That's the other thing. If you have the Hurricanes in 3rd and 8, you cannot let him use plays with his feet. You got to get off the field because when they flip and they win those like 3rd and 8 plays, then you go into like a fresh set of downs and then they just keep grinding on you, And Fletcher is really impressive to me. Like he's
and I was very mediocre on him because I had him kind of in this draft class. He's already said he's going back to Miami.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a day 3 guy. Like, yeah, he's big, but he's not. And like, dude, his run in the playoffs is like eye-opening. And I'm like, no, he's going back next year. That is a guy that's a top 5 running back in that class. And what should be a loaded class at running back next year, too.
Yeah. He falls forward. Then he gets like extra, like my judgment of running backs. Obviously, I love the explosiveness and the ability to make people miss. But like in today's NFL or in today's football, like if you can get a running back that can fall forward for a couple of yards, like I'm always high on that. Like,
Well, do you want to hit this guy? You know, like, does Geno Stone want to meet this guy in the hole?
fuck no.
You know, as Bengal fans, like, fuck no, Geno Stone. Like, that's like Darnell Washington, which I know he's a different animal, but we see Geno Stone against other guys. He don't want to actually hit, you know, and it's like Mark Fletcher and Miami as a team, that is the chance they have. They will take your soul. They will ground and pound and take your soul.
Yep.
And then you got like Bain and Messidor on their defensive line. Like, I still am leaning toward picking Indiana. I don't want to make it sound like I'm not picking Indiana to win. I am. They're great. They're fucking Kurt Cignetti is phenomenal as a coach. Mendoza, number one player on my board. But Ruben Bain, Akeem Messidor, Keontae Scott, Jacoby Thomas, the guys, they are just a rugged, physical, tough-ass team.
Mm-hmm.
For Miami. They are built through the trenches on the lines. And it's like, they'll have a chance to win that game, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah.
it won't be a blowout like it was against Oregon.
Yeah.
Because
I think
Oregon didn't have an offensive line.
Yep.
That was
Yeah.
their problem all season long.
Yep.
They had terrible O-line play.
Yep. Yep.
Miami has a phenomenal offensive line.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
the difference.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great game. Like, it's hard for me to actually pick somebody, as lame as that sounds. Like, I think the thing with Indiana, you just kind of like when you actually look at, like, if you go through and look like by player matchup in this game, I would probably pick every Miami player.
Yeah.
Like a battle, you know what I mean? On one-on-one.
But coaching, I'm picking Indiana.
Yes, exactly. But the sum of all the parts, which is
Yeah.
what we love about football.
Yeah.
It's definitely I'm going to pick Indiana. I just
It's crazy, isn't it? Because
yeah.
also Indiana's defense coordinator, rising star, Ohio State, they tried to get him. He's stuck
Yep.
with Cignetti last year. Like,
Mhm.
that guy is going to be a head coach soon, and he's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm not gonna. He just knows how. And they have guys. They have D'Angelo Ponds. They have Michael Kamara. They have Tyreek Tucker, Aiden Fisher. You know, they got the safeties, Louis Moore and Mari Farrell, who is going back to Indiana next year. He already re-signed with them. A lot of people thought he could be in this draft as a safety. They've got good players. Mario Landino, really good pass rusher. Indiana has good players, but you compare that to Miami's players, Ruben Bain. Oh, that's a top 10 pick. Akeem Messidor. Yeah, he's 25. Had some injuries. He's still a top 50 player. You know what I mean? And it's Francis Malinois, probably a top 10, top 15 pick. It's like and Malachi Toney, one of the best receivers as a true freshman.
Yeah.
So talent-wise, but I will say this also, Indiana, those receivers for Indiana are pretty damn good on that side of the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Charlie Becker, that's a dude,
Becker.
not even draft eligible. But you
Becker,
got Surratt. Huh? Becker,
Becker.
Big Becker?
Becker the Pecker, yeah.
Becker,
Yeah,
the Big Becker. Well, he'd say, oh, fuck you, but it's like, I can't even be mad at him. He's so good. Like, he has really came on the second half of the season. He didn't do much the first half. And it's like, they had some injuries and he had to take on a bigger role. And it's like, Mendoza's like, oh, he is really good. Yeah, let's get that guy the ball.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, their receivers are big contest guys, you know what I mean? Just like get those guys like back shoulder throws. I mean, if you actually look a lot of Mendoza's passing chart this year, it's been like those outside throws, the back shoulders. You know?
Well, Surratt is a master at that. Omar
Yeah,
Cooper Jr. is really good in the slot. Like, he has a year eligibility. I have him in the draft all the way. He's not even somebody I'm thinking goes back. Like,
Yeah.
he's a solid day two player.
Yeah, I agree.
Really good.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff. And, you know, interesting, just like a little side NFL note as we wrap up here. It's pretty crazy article released by Michael Silver today on The Athletic regarding the Eagles that they might be in a position of taking a quarterback in the draft.
Oh, I did not see that.
Yeah, I'll link it to you. But there is
Okay.
frustration building, and you know how like some of these articles are or whatever, but there's frustration in the building amongst a lot of players towards Jalen Hurts, and that there could be the idea of the Eagles trying to be in the quarterback market this spring. So, you know.
Well, I will say this, even as fans, it's like, and the stuff with Lamar not practicing, it's going to come down to Lamar or John Harbaugh in Baltimore. I heard that a lot all season. What happened? John Harbaugh got fired.
Yep.
We've seen the A.J. Brown drama and the A.J. Brown with his coach. I never put Jalen Hurts in this equation, really.
Yep.
But what if it's like, and I'm not saying the spat that happened with the coach and A.J. Brown last week, but what if it's just they don't like Jalen Hurts?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. I have a hard time seeing that. I think A.J. Brown is gone. Like, I think he's traded.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be crazy. Maybe he's got a fan in ownership.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or going back to that rookie contract discussion, they look at some of these contracts that they're going to have Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith. It's like, if we can get Hurts off the books and get a rookie quarterback in here to develop.
For this year, though?
Probably, I don't know if you'd probably have them take over this year.
They're going to draft Ty Simpson in the first round.
I could see it, bro. I could see like a Michael Penix kind of situation.
If he doesn't get his waiver, he's still trying to get it. Trinidad Chambliss.
Yes.
We're calling it here first on Bengals and Brews. Trinidad Chambliss is your new quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, and they are trading Jalen Hurts during the draft.
Yep.
Book it.
We've been right about stuff like this, boys and girls, before. So
you get me on this track, and then my brain starts working. It's fun. I like this. This is what I like about it. But man, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Over 200 people watching. You guys are awesome. We talked a lot of stuff, so if you tuned in late, you can always check it out on YouTube. And shout out Midwest Best Barbecue, sponsor of the show, and the Chop Shop. Our guy Pork Chop, go get you some t-shirts. Chop Shop, 513.myshopify.com. Man, I love talking ball. It's fun. We'll be back next Friday for sure, but you never know. Pop-up show could have happened. Always
developments. You know, it's football never ends. It just takes on a different form in the off season. You know,
but I'm excited to watch some NFL football all weekend, and then the national championship Monday. We got Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We got 3 straight days of football.
Enjoy it while you can.
Yes, because they were not going to have any. And it's like baseball. The Dodgers, they just pay for everything. Baseball sucks. I hate baseball. Sign another guy like, fuck you, Dodgers. Fuck you, baseball.
Yeah, Kyle Tucker. Jesus Christ.
Your whole thing sucks, baseball. We hate baseball, but we love football, and we love all of you.
Yeah.